Hey guys, it's Scott with Scotty B Cards, and in this video I want to talk about Bowman Chrome prospect autographs and determine if they are too expensive right now. Bowman Chrome autographs. You can't live with them, you can't live without them. All I know right now is just the fact that they're expensive. You know, whether you're looking to buy a Juan Soto Bowman Chrome autograph for $4,500, you're looking to get a Marcelo Mayer Bowman Chrome autograph raw for $500. Either way, some of these prospect autographs are extremely expensive, and a lot of people are paying for hype right. We're paying for hype in the sense that we are anticipating these players to be as good, if not better, than a lot of current players. Let's look at like Nolan Arenado. His Bowman Chrome autograph in a BGS 9.5 is like $300. We can look at these modern prospects and determine if they're too expensive or if there still is room for money to be made on these prospects as they approach the big leagues. So I want to start this whole process by looking at the top 10 prospect lists every single year since 2011. 10 years in the past, I want to look at what prospects were there and how their Bowman Chrome autograph or Topps Chrome autograph, if they don't have a Bowman Chrome autograph, prices are doing and whether or not there was money made. So let's look at 2011. 2011, we have Mike Trout, who is awesome, Jeremy Hellickson, Bryce Harper, Dominic Brown, Dustin Ackley, Aroldis Chapman, Mike Moustakas, Eric Hauser, Jesus Montero, and Julio Teheran. So a lot of great players are on this list. But you'll tell right off the bat, aside from Mike Trout at $9,000 for a BGS 8. So if you want a BGS 9.5, you're looking probably at $12,000 to $15,000. You have Bryce Harper, who's also won 2 MVPs. Trout's won 3. Harper's won 2 MVPs. He's on a Hall of Fame path. He's a good player. And yes, I understand he has some baggage with his history with the Washington Nationals, as he was kind of stubborn and people didn't like his personality, but he's been great with the Phillies. He's been a relatively good teammate, actually really good teammate, and overall a fan favorite there. So let's just discuss this price gap. First of all, you could buy 12 or 13 of these Bryce Harpers for one Mike Trout in the same grade. Pretty crazy. But now let's look at Jeremy Hellickson. His Bowman Chrome autograph. This is his rookie, not his Bowman Chrome auto, because I couldn't find a comp on that, but $5. $5. And Dominic Brown couldn't find his Bowman Chrome, so it's a $3 Bowman Sterling, I believe is what it is. And then you have Dustin Ackley, $8 for a blue number to 150. Aroldis Chapman, who's still a good pitcher in the big leagues right now. Potentially he's a Hall of Famer. Depends on who you ask, how you view relief pitchers. I don't think he's quite there, but who knows. $15. Then you have Mike Moustakas, $24. Eric Hosmer, you can get a Topps Chrome autograph for less than $25, and so forth. There's just not much value aside from the very top of the class. Now let's go to 2012. We see the same two, Bryce Harper and Mike Trout, but we also are adding Manny Machado and Trevor Bauer in, even Dylan Bundy. These guys are all relatively good big leaguers right now. Trevor Bauer, he has his own issues that make him not valuable, but even before his issues, his Bowman Chrome autograph in a 9.5 was maybe $150 to $200. Then you have Manny Machado, who is on a Hall of Fame path in my eyes. He's like around 45 WAR at age 28 or 29, and he's at $280. So still, yes, those have gone up. That's a great price. I honestly think buying that at that price is a good deal for the person who's buying it as he ages and gets to those big 400 home run marks and all those different things. 2013, it gets a little bit more bleak. You have Jurickson Profar, number 1 prospect in all of baseball. He was the can't miss prospect of 2013, and I'm afraid they missed on Jurickson Profar. His Bowman Chrome autograph in a 9.510 is $11. Dylan Bundy, $10. Then you have Oscar Taveras for $16. All these names, if you were collecting in this time, they were hot. They were as hot as Julio Rodriguez. They were as hot as Marcelo Mayer. You could even look at Nivoli Marte, all these different players. They were a big deal. And then you can see the highest one on this list is Zach Wheeler over here at $26.55. Zach Wheeler was runner-up for Cy Young last year. So even with that success, actually highest is Garrett Cole. But regardless, Zach Wheeler was runner-up for Cy Young last year, and his Bowman Chrome autograph in a 9.510, $26. Garrett Cole, he's having a really good career, and you can get his Bowman Chrome autograph for $100. So that's not bad, but I personally wouldn't be investing in Garrett Cole myself, but I think there's an argument to be made where he is worth it. Then you have Tyler Skaggs, who passed away, $550 for a gold out of 50 Bowman Chrome autograph. So on this list, everybody dropped besides maybe Garrett Cole from the prices when these cards came out. 2014, now we have some bigger names, more established stars. You have Byron Buxton. I am surprised his Bowman Chrome autograph goes for this much. Maybe Twins fans are excited about Byron Buxton and the fact he's staying with the Twins, and on top of that, he does have all the tools to be good if he can stay healthy. Then you have Xander Bogaerts in a PSA 9 for $200. Then you have Oscar Taveras again, who was the number 3 prospect in 2014 for $16. Miguel Sano, who was a slugger, for $5.50. Now we have Archie Bradley, refractor 9.510 for a whopping $10.50. Tyon Walker, you can get less than $3. Javi Baez, Bowman Chrome refractor 9.510 is $207. Carlos Correa, he's had a real good bounce back in his pricing, $375 for his Bowman Chrome autograph. Chris Bryant, $349, and Lindor, $225. So you're starting to see some increase on prices. That's because these players their careers aren't completely sealed. We don't know what's going to happen with Lindor. He may never bounce back from how bad he was last year offensively. Still put up 3 WARs, a good defensive shortstop, really good defensive shortstop. But offensively, he was league average at best. So if he can become another, 120, 130 OPS plus guy, OPS plus is 100 is league average. So if he can be 20% better than league average, which he's been historically, then his cards will bounce back up to, $500 for the Bowman Chrome autograph. Carlos Correa has a really high ceiling, and we don't know where he's going. So people are speculating on Correa going to a team they would like the Yankees, for example. But regardless, the only cards over $300 on this list is Carlos Correa and Chris Bryant. Now we're in 2015. We have the exact same prospects, those big 4 up front. We're throwing in Corey Seager over here. We have other big names like Julio Urias, who's actually, I'm surprised this card was so expensive at $143, and we have Noah Syndergaard at $64. Now, even Lucas Giolito is only at $27 right now. Joey Gallo, Yankees, all-time great. Just kidding. Joey Gallo is okay. He's a pretty good player, but Yankees fans don't like him because of the way he plays, but he's fine. He's a good player. $43, and then down here we have Addison Russell, who had a really high fall from grace at $659. 2016, same story. Now we're adding in Dansby Swanson and Yohan Moncada. 2017 is when we start to see some changes. Right here you have Gleyber Torres. He's a really highly touted prospect. He obviously has not been good the last 2 years, but before that he was the top of baseball card collecting with Soto and Acuna. Then down here you have Ahmed Rosario. I put his Superfractor sale just because I thought it was cool. I was in my search time frame. $1,400 for a Superfractor. If we compare this to the Jason Dominguez Superfractor that's for sale right now in Golden Auctions, I don't believe he's gotten above A-ball, but I think that's going to go for over $100,000. But this is Ahmed Rosario, who is a top 5 prospect, $1,400. That's crazy for a Superfractor. Now we're at a time where we're a modern card collecting. I want you to look at these differences. Now we're in 2018. And in the defense of 2018, there are some fantastic players on this list. You have Shohei Ohtani, who was the number 1 prospect coming over from Japan at $3,500. You have Ronald Acuna Jr., $3,100. You have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., $2,600. And then Eloy in a PSA 10, Eloy Jimenez, $311. Over here you have Fernando Tatis Jr. at $3,150. Now you're seeing some really big increases, but maybe those price increases are deservingly so because these players are good. But you can't really say that, Carlos Correa is really good too, so is Lindor. Historically, these players definitely have a higher ceiling, and if they're probably just going to be better players overall. But overall, there's a lot of recency bias, and you'll see that even more as I move forward. So you have the same couple big players here, but now we're to some not so huge stars. Right here you have Royce Lewis. He's 2017 Bowman Chrome autographs, $157. Kyle Tucker, $190. People would argue that's undervalued. And then Alex Kirilloff at $177. And then we get to 2020. We have Wander Franco. He's at $22.52. Then we have Luis Robert at $19.49, Adley Rutschman at $11.25, and Royce Lewis is high, and we still have Casey Mize relatively high. Spencer Torkelson, he's at $1,500. Joe Adell's at $360. So we're anticipating Joe Adell's going to have a better career than Francisco Lindor, Carlos Correa, Chris Bryant, Byron Buxton, all these other players. 2021 gets even crazier. We have Adley Rutschman. This is the top prospects for this year. CJ Abrams is down here. He's a big guy, big prospect. We have Marco Luciano as a big prospect, Spencer Torkelson. Every single player on this list, besides Grayson Rodriguez, who's a pitcher, which makes sense, is going for a lot of money. And this one blows my mind. Marcelo Mayer, he's brand new prospect that came out in Bowman Draft, which came out in, I believe, the new year. And this card is going for more than Mookie Betts Bowman Chrome autographs, which is crazy to me. So what does this mean? As we can see, look at the people on this list. I know Bobby Wood Jr., they all have so much potential. That is what we're paying for because we are hoping they can win 2 MVPs, and we are hoping they can be on a Hall of Fame track like Bryce Harper and have their cards drop to $800 for Bowman Chrome autograph. It's tough because it's either Mike Trout or bust. We have Juan Soto now. That may be changing. I understand the dynamics around Bryce Harper, but the point is they have to do a lot for them to maintain these card values. And let's just kind of recap everything. Here's some takeaways. The longer we go away from the list, when that list was released, the lower the cards go. That's prospecting. That makes sense. We shake it all out and we see what's left. It's like prospecting for gold. You literally shake the pan, everything goes out besides those little flakes of gold, and that's what you keep. And that's the same thing with these prospects. Out of the top 100 prospects, maybe 5 are going to be really good players. Players who aren't even in the top 100 prospects are going to be great players and so forth. And then you can see only 4 players from 2011 to 2017, so those 7 years, their Bowman Chrome autographs, only 4 of them are worth more than $300. Between 2018 and 2021, 17 players are worth more than $300. So there's a lot of recency bias in prospecting. And what I'm getting at is I think prospecting is a fantastic way to make some awesome money, especially if you can time the market right and you can get the right predicted prospect and you can perform well in AAA ball. And if you sell at the right time, there's so much money to be made in prospecting. But there's also a lot of money to be lost in prospecting. So if that's not your cup of tea, you may want to take a step back, learn a little bit more about it before you start just throwing money at Julio Rodriguez, who I think is going to be great. I don't have anything of his just because I'd rather put my money towards Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, more established stars. That's just me as a person, maybe even some vintage. But regardless, people are doing that. I don't think they're wrong. I think the card will go up because I think he's going to be good next year. These players are worth less than Francisco Alvarez. Francisco Alvarez, if we go back a little bit, he is the number 10 prospect for the Mets. He's a catcher, and I just want to remind you, catchers as prospects do not perform well long-term. They just don't. Think of the catchers in baseball right now. You have Will Smith, one of the best catchers in baseball. His cards aren't worth much. Then you can think of JT Realmuto. He's a great catcher, and his cards aren't worth much. He doesn't have many rookie cards, no Bowman Chrome autograph, but it's still not worth a ton. All these catchers never really amount to much, besides maybe Buster Posey and Joe Mauer and Salvador Perez, we could even say, over the last 15 years, haven't really done much regards of value. So to predict Francisco Alvarez being worth it at $392, when that is worth more than Corey Seager, Carlos Correa, Francisco Lindor, Chris Bryan, Byron Buxton, Gleyber Torres, and Xander Bogaerts in the same condition, is pretty crazy. And those are just players on the top 10 prospect list from previous years. You have Nolan Arenado, you have a bunch of other really good prospects who he's even more expensive than. His Bowman Chrome autograph, I know it's not the same grade, is more expensive than Buster Posey's in a PSA 9. It's just something to consider. Be careful with your prospecting. I just wanted to look back and really get an analysis of how these top prospect lists pan out. I was hoping to be more optimistic about it, but once I saw once you get a year away, every single time they just drop pretty consistently, it's pretty tough. But I do think maybe we're getting better at predicting these prospects. But again, that's probably just recency bias overall. The 2018 class spoiled a lot of us. Juan Soto debuted in 2018 as well. He wasn't a top 10 prospect. But regardless, you're going to have a lot more Nick Senzels than Fernando Tatis Jr. So just be careful as you invest and as you collect. Other than that, thanks for watching the video. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my analysis, if you think I'm right, if you think I'm completely off base. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.